This is Andy2, and this is my first how-to video in a new series for Ike, my Singer Model 1591. In this video, I want to remove the motor, light, and wiring just so that it's going to make it easier to work on the rest of the machine. I'm not going to be working on any of these parts now in this video. I'm just simply going to be taking them off the machine to get them off, and I'll have to remove the hand wheel too. I just remembered that to get the motor off. So I'm actually going to start at the nose end of the machine because I want to remove the nose cover plate because the tension unit is attached there, and I don't want it to get banged up with moving the machine around. And this just has a faceplate mounting screw, just one screw right there. So I'm just going to loosen it a couple of turns, and the plate slides up to get it off of the screw like that, and then you slip it off of the thread take-up lever there. See how that sticks out there, and I don't want to bang it up. And later videos I'm going to be taking all this stuff out, so I figure I'll just take that off now. Then I'm going to come to the back end of the machine here and do some work back here as the next part. Let me lower this down a little bit. I want to remove this 3-pin terminal because this is where the wire from the light and the motor and the foot pedal are all attached into the back of this 3-pin terminal, and I want to get that off. And right up in here is a one screw, the 3-pin terminal mounting screw. See if I can kind of do it by, there we go, by feel there. And it's a nice long sturdy screw, so it's got a few turns to get it out, but then the terminal itself will come right out afterwards. Let me show you that screw, so if later you're wondering what does the screw that holds that on look like, you'll know that this is it. It's a nice bulky head on it there. So I'll put that in a container, and now I'm just going to slip this off and under the mounting area to pull the wires out. I'll show you the back of that 3-pin terminal, where all the motor wire, light wire, and foot pedal wire comes in. Not too bad. I've heard a lot of people have had to replace these completely, and I'll find that out down the road, but I wanted to show you this. And for those of you who are getting ahead of me and so forth, I'm going to put up a slide real quick of the wiring diagram for all of this. So if you choose to remove some wires or have to remove some wires to do any work, you'll know how they go back on. So I'll show you that. Okay, now I've got that off, so I'm going to continue rotating around. I want to get to the back of the machine here, and boy, these black models are heavy, aren't they? I actually, when I had this shipped to me and opened it, I thought they sent me like a Model 99 or something by mistake. I thought a Model 15 was going to be bigger, longer. I want to remove this access cover plate here to get to the screw for the bracket of the light. And this just has a thumb screw. Wonder what a thumbnail. There's my thumbnail. It has a thumb screw up here that is just the same as the thumb screw for the presser foot. So take that off, and then this cover plate just lifts off. And this is so you can get in here to oil and work on the feed regulator and so forth. I'm sure they needed that hole probably too during assembly of the machine, because there's no, you know, arm cover to take off like in the other models that I have done. So there's a small bracket on the back of the light. It has an arm that comes over, and it screws just one screw into a hole right there. Okay, so grab a screwdriver, and we will, there we go, we'll remove that. This screw is a lot shorter than the 3-pin terminal mounting screw. So I'll show you that little guy, and it's just a bugle head screw there. That's the total length of it, just a little guy. I can show you that bracket on the back I was talking about. Got a couple screws that attach into the socket for the light fixture. Okay, so now I've got all the wiring and everything loose here. So I'll proceed hand wheel. It was interesting in the manuals for this, they call it the balance wheel. But I'm still going to call it the hand wheel, okay? And this is the clamping screw, a clamp screw, and there's a little stop screw in there that needs to be backed off about halfway or removed. And I'll go ahead and remove it just to show people who have never done that what that looks like. It's threaded below the head, and then it just kind of has a smooth post that sticks out there. Now to get the clamping screw off, and this thing everybody calls a silver knob or wheel is actually a clamping screw. It's a screw with a big old head, and with that stop screw we can take it right off. It's heavy, so don't drop it on the machine. Oop, and there's a washer behind it that may be stuck to the hand wheel or may come off like this. This is pretty dry. So let me show you that clamp screw. It is a screw. There's a big old head on it. And then this is the stop motion clamp washer. I'll show you this, how to put this back on while I'm here. So you see that there's let me raise this back up a little, sorry. You see these two cutouts in here. This is the hand wheel counterbalance, or the arm shaft counterbalance, that's screwed onto the main arm shaft, and then we screw the hand wheel on with this, and you see there's two little ears to go on those cutouts, and there's three little stop posts that stick up. And if you put it on wrong and it doesn't work, then you're going to redo it, take it off, and put it 180 degrees the other way. Okay. Let me put that on here. Yeah, let me turn it just to have a little theory. There we go. So my theory, and sometimes it works, is with those cutouts horizontal. See, there's one post right by that. Then the next one is here. So this is a space where hopefully that stop screw ends up and can function properly. So you get it right the first time. I'm going to put this block of wood under the end of the machine here so that it tilts back a little, hoping that keep the washer from falling off. I'm going to thread that screw back in there. So here I was hoping it would end up here, and it's down here. But let's put the little stop screw. That's why I never care anymore. There's people who have said in their writings and videos, you know, like to mark the washer when you take it off and do certain things so you know how it goes back on. But there's only two ways it can go on properly, as long as you remember to keep those 3 stop pins facing out from the machine. So the idea with this, of course, is when the hand wheel's held and the screw is turned to the right, it clamps down on that washer, and that allows, you see the needle bar way down there? That allows the machine to be in sewing mode. And then when you turn it left, that's it. See, it goes not quite a quarter turn, but here the stop screw hitting that stop pin. That is enough to remove pressure on the clamp without this coming off or spinning off when you run the bobbin winder. So now, if you'll see, the needle bar way down there is not moving. Sometimes you can, it's getting a little bit of creep down there because the hand wheel and stuff is dirty. There we go. So I got it right. So, as I said, if you put it on and it doesn't operate how I just showed you with that quarter turn stop, then you're going to have to take this clamp screw off like that, and however your washer is on there, you're just going to have to take it and turn it 180 degrees and put everything back together, and then you'll be good to go. Okay, and if this is stuck onto the hand wheel, don't worry about taking it off, because now we're going to pull the hand wheel off. Okay, so if it's stuck with old grease or dried up oil, don't worry about it. It'll come off with the hand wheel. In my case, it's so loose it was falling off. All right, now there's a text-to-light gear on the end of the hand wheel that mates with a pinion gear on the motor shaft of the motor back here. Okay, this is a built-in motor. Okay. So when you're pulling it off, you don't want to damage that gear. You should be able to pull it off, and now you see that gear is kind of meshing, so it hesitates. It can hesitate because it's full of old dried up grease too. So pull it, and if it doesn't want to just pull off, then try wiggling a little bit. Keep pulling, there you go, and wiggle. Ooh, so there's the nasty old text-to-light gear in the back of the hand wheel, all full of grease on the threads, which really doesn't have to, shouldn't need to be there and stuff. But anyway, now that that's off, yay. Okay, and now we get to work on taking the motor off. All this to get to the motor. And specifically, while we've done all that, is to get to these two silver screws in here. And you see them here at 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock, right? Two nice big silver screws. And those are called the A screws. And contrary to popular belief, the A does not stand for awful, as in awfully hard to get these screws out. A is just the designation in the diagram in the manual. A screws. They'll say, remove the A screws. So there they are. Okay. And I'm going to take my Chapman screwdriver with the bit number 19 is what I think will fit those. Yep. And I'm just going to drop the light there so I can use two hands and turn this a little bit and get in here and see. So I've heard these can come out hard, or they can come out very hard, or you can damage the heads of those screws. So I'm just going to try and give them a good yeah. So they're holding up to their reputation here for me. Okay, no worries, right? So I have, with that Chapman screwdriver set, came a little mini ratchet. It's like a little 1/4-inch socket, right? And I'm going to use the extension and that bit with this, because I think Chapman said that this ratchet puts about 3 times the torque as you can get with it instead of the screwdriver handle. Okay, and my wrist. So, oh brother. Okay, all right. So there it was. That broke free. That was better than I expected. Let me take this out so that we can see in here. Man, is it greasy in there? Wait a minute. Let me grab something. See if I can. I don't know if it's always that greasy in there. I see the pinion gear, and there's places you pump grease in here on the bottom, I guess. So just let me get some of that gunk out of there. Okay, that's a little bit better. And let's see if we can take that screw out, as I said, and I'll show it to you and get an idea of how that looks coming out. Oh. Still stuck in a little bit of grease, so I'll get my little magnet here and pull it up. There we go. Big flat head. And the space that head goes into is a little recessed. You can see I got grease on there too. And I think it's just really torqued down good at the factory because they don't want the motor bracket and stuff vibrating loose. So let's just go ahead and start with that mini ratchet on the other screw here on the other side and get it off. Okay, so another way that can get these stubborn screws off is to try and tap your screwdriver or bit extension. Give it a few taps with a hammer while you're attempting to loosen it. And sometimes that tapping will give you a nice jarring motion and kind of snap that screw free. So you want to be sure you got the right bit, and you want to be sure that you're in there. And I'm just going to take a small rubber mallet, and I'm going to no. Okay. So, no sense forcing that. I don't want to have to try and find another screw for a replacement. So, before, when I did a video about some broken screws, a friend of mine sent me an impact driver and extractor set. Okay, and it came with a small slotted screw and 2 Phillips and these different size kind of little twisty bits came with it, and then the extractor itself here. This is a Performance Tool 7-piece impact driver and extractor set with a lifetime warranty, and it's 1/4 inch size. So he said that these are 1/4 inch bits, so the extractor itself will take other bits as long as they're 1/4 inch. And there's no really instructions how to use it, but I found that there's a marking on here left and right. So I guess if you wanted to twist left, is how it came from the factory, and I just left it there because there's not too many screws that turn right to remove. There are some on take-up levers. Anyway, it's a heavy tool, and I tested it a little by pounding it on the block of wood, and when it pushes down hard, it makes a little 1/4 twist or 1/8 twist to the left, and that's it. Okay, so let's take my extension bit now, or extension arm, whatever, get it in there all the way, and I'm still using that number 19 bit, and let's see if I can get it in there. Oh, I got to change stuff around here. You're not going to be able to see me having all the fun here, right? Maybe I can show it there. Okay, so this you don't have to turn. This you just keep it pressed well into the screw, and I'm going to give it some good wax here and see if I can't oh, I could tell that went quite a ways in. The screw looks twisted. Let's find out. Now I'll use it kind of like a regular screwdriver. Yeah, it did. There we go. Man, that was easy. So I'm going to have to thank my buddy for that. He works on some sewing machines. That's how I met him, through my channel, but he fools around and restores old motorcycle engines for guys who are restoring old motorcycles. And that's how he found out about using extractors. And I guess they come in bigger sizes and stuff. But that extractor worked good. That's kind of impressive. So again, when it pushed in, when I gave it a good whack, it just must have like a pinion gear in there or something, and it just kind of gave it a little eighth of a turn. And let's see if this will come out now. Came out, yep. And of course the Chapman bit will come right out. Okay, that made it kind of easy. Okay, now what we've got is this motor and this motor bracket here, which also has the bracket for the bobbin winder up here attached to it, kind of like the 99 did. So this whole thing now can come off is the idea. And let's see if I see there. I'm going to try twisting a little bit and kind of rocking and twisting, and here it comes. There it is. Okay, so here is the counterbalance on the main horizontal arm of the machine. Let me move that. Because I already removed the other parts now, everything should be free and clear. So we'll take a look. Here's my 3-pin. Here's the wire coming out of the base of the motor. Here is, you can see the pinion gear down inside there, right? And this is how the hand wheel goes in. And the Textilite gear of the hand wheel, this gear on the end, meshes with that pinion gear. Meshes with the pinion gear down there. And so when the motor runs, that turns the hand wheel, and that turns the arm shaft and everything attached to it in the machine. And then there's a cover for the machine here you can take off, and you can start disassembling the motor. Here's some grease ports and a busted off screw for the bushing, or no, brushes, motor brushes. Here's one at the bottom, looks in good shape. This one at the top looks, somebody probably tried to take it off and broke it. Okay, so I got some work there too. But actually, anyway, that's it. That's what I'm going to accomplish with the video. I did what I wanted to do, except maybe I'll take off this damaged spool pin since it's loose anyway. It got damaged and the case was all broken during shipping and everything. I'll get that off, so now I can start working on the machine. But I just wanted to, I think I'll plug this in and run the motor, since all the wiring is still intact and everything, and I can see how it sounds and see that pinion gear moving. Man, it's a quiet motor. That's a vibration from the table, I think. Let me hold it up like this, maybe. See, I don't know if you can see that pinion. See it? It's still not running very fast, and I don't know if that's the motor or the foot pedal. But it's impressive. It's heavy because it's all on the bracket here still. That's interesting. Okay, that'll be a fun video or two playing with that. So I'm going to put all this stuff in a box to keep it safe, and all the screws and everything that go with it. But now I can play around with this rest of the machine more. And learn about it. So I hope that that was an okay video for you, and I hope that you can come back and as I put up more and more videos for Ike, a Singer Model 1591. It's really nice to see you again. Take care.